We are back for another night of fun and mirth and merriment. Yes, indeed, we are live here on Instagram and YouTube. Yes, we are. We are back after a little bit of a snowstorm out there. Yeah, Toronto's been dumped on with snow. I'd say about 10 to 15 centimeters, but the show must go on. I'm staying warm and chilled. My Raptors are in the 10-point lead, the 10-point ascendancy against the LA Clippers. They should beat them tonight. And let the good times roll, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, my Bills and my Arsenal are playing tomorrow. Yes, a very busy sports weekend indeed. But we are here for another bit of sports, a bit of fisticuffs in the worded fashion, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to get into this right now. Yes, indeed. I was about to talk about the Scots, but we're going to have to wait that till next week. As you know, the internet sensation, the Scots, who are full of fun, mirth, and merriment through their antics at home and at work, and their outrageousness, and something that the couple that black women cling to for comfort and literal upliftment of their lives have divorced, according to TMZ and according to many a website and many a social media platform. And it has been made official as of this week. But who also made that official was Mr. Scott, because he went out there and did a few things. But we're going to talk about that next week on Talk Live on IG and YouTube as the story further develops. Ms. Scott had just filed for divorce. And at the end of the day, we'll recap things next week on Talk Live. But let's get into it right here, right now. And thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live on IG, YouTube. Everything's running smoothly, ladies and gentlemen, and we're ready to go here. We're actually at a good time, to be fair, as I see the Winter Olympics are starting February 6th. But winter is definitely here, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get into it. We just started off the new year, and wouldn't you know it, we couldn't wait. We couldn't hesitate but get a few people on the map, and that includes Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. Now, these are two very big names in the black YouTube space, especially when it comes to intersectional dynamics and the state of the black. Foundationally black Americans and black diaspora worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. The very popular commentators within the space. Now, I watch both of these individuals here. They all have good things. Corey Holcomb, a very, very funny man, and he is very much FBA orientated, very much left wing, though conservative in his viewpoint, very much a democratic member of the political sphere, and the American political sphere. And then we have Anton Daniels, who tends to be conservative, is very Republican, and is very much one who holds black men and women accountable. He's not one to pull punches. He's not one to shy away from telling them the truth. Now, these two titans, as they say, these two adversaries got together in Los Angeles this past week, and lo and behold, it was a nightmare. It wasn't say a nightmare. It was a sight to behold. To be fair, it was not exactly what we were looking for. We were looking for some because these guys are two polar opposites in terms of their political outlook. There are certain things they agree on, certain things they didn't, but they could not bring that across in this week. Anton, who's based in Detroit, Michigan, he flew across the country to Los Angeles to meet up with one Corey Holcomb and have a debate regarding the black experience within the United States on Corey Holcomb's 5150 show, which is a very popular show that he has grown over many years. So shout out to Corey Holcomb. But I was very, very much looking forward to this, seeing that if we can, have a debate and come to common ground on things, but it didn't end up that way. And from what I saw from the internet, it was a case of, hey, I would have wanted these two to exchange views in a very fair-minded and formal way, quite simply, but it never did that. It devolved into something a little more, well, a little more negative, if you ask me. A little more, just antagonistic. And it was, it was not exactly the best of things to view. But we're going to go through it today. We're going to see who's right and wrong. We're going to see who actually won the debate and where things got taken into context, taken out of context, and why indeed, in the aftermath, Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb have no love for each other whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get into it here on Talk Live. A very live debate. We're going to go through Fawcett Media. Let's get into it right now. We're going to go to the YouTube, and there we go. So we're going to get into Corey Holcomb right here. And Anton Daniels, and this is a clip taken from the 5150 show through Fawcett Media. Now, Fawcett Media is a friend of Corey Holcomb, but I think he was the more fair-minded of approaches. Also, you'll hear from mediocre tutorial reviews, and he'll be talking about the aftermath of this debate. But unfortunately, this did not put black men in a good light. I thought that there is room for growth. There's a lot of room for an exchange of views. But it never happened that way, and it devolved into a near brouhaha, a near dust up, a mere fight. But again, cooler head prevailed, but it wasn't exactly a good look for the black community. So here we go. We're going to discuss it right here on Talk Live. So thank you to Fawcett Media. Fair use for you. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get on the big screen. You know what I mean? The video, Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels go to war. So shout out to Fawcett Media for covering this. And we're going to get into this here on Talk Live. Let's get into it.
People, you did it on. I feel like I did it on you. To your face. To your face.
What?
Be careful on me, because I feel like you're talking again. I'm not talking shit. I'm telling you. Be careful. I'm telling you. You shit on me to my face, but that's will lead to some danger. Will we please stop the trust me, the tough talk? I got security, you got security. Homie, I ain't got security. Them my people. Cool. Them your you gotta people. Hire a to be with you. Absolutely.
Okay, let's get into it right here.
And that's what we witnessed here. Trust me, I didn't think this was going to be the outcome. I thought maybe they'd be able to kind of see some things eye to eye, but I could tell by how the conversation started that Anton kind of had his backup for some reason. I don't know how the conversations went before. They obviously disagree on certain things politically. They disagree on certain things culturally, and chaos ensued. Now, this went on for 2 hours, but like I said, from the beginning, you could tell there was going to be something happening. And mind you, this wasn't necessarily set up as a debate, and I think that's where the weird energy goes, because when you come into somebody else's space, I believe there's a certain amount of deference you should have regardless of the fact. Can't come off the top with that type of energy.
But here's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, yeah. I mean, Anton flew in from Detroit, as stated, and he really just wanted to. It was a good opportunity to spark debate and really, get a few points across. But it escalated quickly, and it escalated, negatively. But again, cooler head prevailed, but it wasn't exactly a good look for the black community, especially when it comes to these debates. Let's continue.
We know, I believe you know this already, when the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Do you think that's wrong what I said? This is so insane. Is that what I said? I said when the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it. Is that a lie? This is so insane. But you didn't answer it. I'm going to answer your question. Okay. I'm going to answer your question. It depends on the circumstance. And the interesting thing about it is this. The majority of the people, because you like to use a blanket statement. That's like me saying all black people are stupid.
Well, have you said all white people stupid?
No, I'm talking about cops.
You should say that one time.
I'm talking about
because
cops.
It's easy to say all black people are stupid as an example. Say something about the white people.
No.
Okay, so here's where things start falling off the rails. Now, again, I think Corey's got a battery in his backpack when it comes to Anton Daniels because he thinks that he is a voice for white people everywhere, and and Corey doesn't exactly care for that because these guys don't necessarily need the voice of black. Of Corey Holcomb of Anton Daniels to get their point across. It's a case of, he sees I see Anton Daniels as someone who's not needed within the black community, and that is someone who will give a lending ear to white people and hear their story and actually, critically think and see if indeed they're worthy of an audience or not. Corey Holcomb doesn't have any time for that whatsoever, and that's his right, that's his privilege. But I think in many instances that to write Anton Daniels' ideas and his loyalties off in certain circumstances is a bit prejudicial, to be fair. But again, I think it starts here. This is where things start falling off the rails, and that Corey tried to call out Anton on his sort of multicultural take on things, if you know what I mean. Let's continue.
I don't think you got people all the time.
Oh, well, I didn't hear you. Can you tell me? Because I don't know.
Liberal white women literally being the biggest enemy of the United States of America. That's the thing I say every single day.
Caucasian female, the biggest enemy.
Literally, white liberal women are the worst thing that ever happened to this country.
What about their?
Oh, now again, I will attest to the fact that that Anton Daniels does speak about white women and the fact that they are indeed the Trojan horse for everything he deems that's gone on wrong with the country. That includes I don't like saying the word, but it's true in the sense the niggatry of black people, feminism, and LGBTQ rights, immigration, so on and so forth. Let's continue.
But we gonna get there because you keep trying to get me to qualify it by participating and joining in on the core.
I think you're doing what's easy.
No. I'm doing what's real.
Wow.
I think you don't want to go against them because if you go against them, it'll be some video of you going against them. And when I say them, I'm talking about your boss.
I don't have a.
Okay, so there again. Now it's not picked up by people, but I know that. By not only Fawcett Media, but also by the co-host here of Abate. I will get her name in a minute. I mean, they are. As another trigger for Anton is the fact that Corey believes that Anton's bosses are white people. But to be fair, I know this for a fact that Anton is indeed he is a violent white on sort of Caucasian on multicultural platforms. However, a lot of Corey's, I would say a lot of Corey's platforms are his platforms. He is the boss of them, and he does not have a white overseer giving him money and giving him spaces. I mean, a lot of his stuff is done on YouTube, and YouTube, again, is an equal opportunity space. I mean, I could be, I could have white people as my bosses, Corey could have evil as his bosses, and so can Anton. So again, his money is his own, and I think this is done, again, to trigger Anton. Now, again, that's not exactly the best of ways to set off a debate, but, let's be fair and frank. That this is what Corey sees, but again, Anton wants to set him straight on things. But again, this is where things really fall off the rails. And again, Anton may be to blame for this. Let's continue.
Boss.
We say that. We say that. But here's the truth.
I don't have a boss.
It's a reason you go after black males or black people quicker than you will go after white males. What are white males?
Okay, so here's the thing about Corey. Corey, I mean, Corey can, and this is where Corey has a problem, is the fact that he only sees where black people are involved. Now, Fawcett Media here is trying to give him a lending ear because he is a friend of Corey. But again, I've seen Corey's show and what he does, and he's very, very black centric. He's very, very FBA / black diaspora centric, and he has every right to. He has every right to be. So, but again, his sensitivities come with black people. So anything that Anton says about black people, he's already alerted. He's already media. He doesn't see anything else. So that may be a problem for Corey, is the fact that he isn't focused on what all of Anton's materials. He's only focused on what concerns black people. Now, he has a right to do that, but in order to get an informed opinion on things, you need to see all his material. I've seen all his material, and indeed, he does go in on white people. He does go in on white men and women and others and other ethnicities as well, Hispanic, also and others, to be fair. So again, but as long as they involve themselves in the American story and the American Republic. So again, it's you know, even though Corey has a right to be sensitive about black people, he needs to take a wider view of what Anton's subject matter is concerned with. And as he said, white people, including white women, are a part of that subject matter. Let's continue.
Responsible for in this country as the downfall of it. I'm an
equal accountability smoke giver. I talk about everybody.
I'm just saying, I ain't heard you talk about white men since you've been up here.
You ain't been listening.
Yeah, and that's what I say. It's like he hasn't been listening. Corey only hears what he wants to hear, and the only concern he has is for black people, which is his right. But in order to get a full context of things, he needs to hear Anton's whole, all the content he has on his platforms. And believe me, he's an equal opportunity, chastiser and critic. So we have to give Anton his credit here. Let's continue.
You ain't been listening.
I've been listening to you.
No, you haven't.
I hear you.
You don't have the capacity to be able to listen because you're too busy.
No. You got me wrong.
That was a shot. I mean, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to say things about somebody's capacity if you're coming in good faith. You know what I'm saying? If you're coming in good faith, you don't have to insult somebody in the midst of a conversation, in the midst of a debate even. Like, there are rules to the debate. And I think people don't realize that a lot of times. Because it seems like a free-for-all. It seems like you can say what you want to. But when it comes to two men in a conversation and you in the same room, which I like that Anton says he wants to not do any more via satellite interviews. He wants to fly to the podcast to see people face-to-face and eye-to-eye. But, you still have to maintain a level of respect and decorum. I don't care what you say.
Very true there by Fawcett, man. You got to have a level of decorum. It was a surreptitious shot at Corey Holcomb and his intelligence, to be fair, when he doesn't have the capacity to hear a lot of his material because, he only reacts to the black experience and not anybody else's. And that's not to say that Corey doesn't. Corey has a sensitivity to it. That's absolutely true. However, in this instance, I say it can be taken as a slight. It can be taken as a slight, and Corey does, and that only ups the ante of the debate. So we are this is the time where things should be taken down, things should be things should be deconstructed. People should, assemble their points, make sure that they're getting their points across correctly, and not putting out sly jabs. As to be fair, Anton did. Let's continue.
My capacity that you just criticized, that's an opinion.
See?
Here's the fact. Have you seen something about Caucasian males and how they destroy this nation? Well, what did I miss?
Let's slow down because you talking loud.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down. He asked you a direct question right there. Now, if that is not true, and I'm not putting this on Anton, you know what I'm saying? Like, Anton might well say what he want to say on his platform. But in this moment right here, he shifted gears. Even Darlene can see it right there.
Saying a lot.
No, you talking loud, and you still talking around. What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
So here we go. So this, okay. Let me explain it this way. Corey Holcomb, and he has every right to have, as he's gone through the black experience in full. Corey has every right to have this sort of point of view in the sense that, black men good, white men bad, they do nothing for black men, so therefore they're considered the enemy. And it's to be put to proof if indeed white men are indeed on the side of black men. And he doesn't like the fact that the fact that Anton has been clipped up in terms of criticizing black people, but he doesn't see the clips of him criticizing white people because it's not really promoted. So it's for those such as myself, I have a subscription to Anton Daniels. I have seen his debates, and he is equal opportunity. If he sees wrong in the white community, he'll call it out. If he sees wrong in the black community, he'll call it out. However, Corey, again, he has every right to only sees the black experience and it being slighted. So he is going to get his back up. Corey's going to get his back up whenever that comes to pass or it comes in his purview. So, all he sees is Anton talking badly about the black experience. And there we go. I hope you can hear that now. All he hears is, Corey speaking ill of the black experience. And this is where we really have to, try to take it down a level. But it doesn't. It doesn't go down a level because that's another shot across the bow. He is saying to Anton, you are, an Uncle T, a C-O-O-N, that sort of thing. So it can be, but he does it in a very veiled way. He does it in a very, a collateral damage way, for lack of a better word, a way that that challenges Anton to say something about white men. Now he's trying to get Anton to be anti-establishment, but that is not Anton's point of view. Anton's very corporate, very much establishment, very much about getting his bag, rising yourself to the corporate ladder and succeeding on any person's terms. And I truly believe in that myself. However, you gotta, Corey has his own affiliations, has his own experiences, and that is through his own, sweat of the brow, get it where you fit in and succeeding on your own terms ideals. And he's entitled to that, but he's trying to call out Anton to be anti-white, anti-immigrant, and anti-white and anti-conservative, which Anton doesn't fall for. But the thing about it is, Anton takes it up a notch a bit here. Not to the betterment of this debate. Let's continue.
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it. And that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian males' ass.
But
okay, this is where things really get set off. When he said, now you see the co-host face here. She understands that things are going to get serious. When he says, you're out here kissing white man ass, that's when Anton is set off. Now, that's what I'm saying. He's instigated this fight. To be fair, Corey has instigated this fight. Now, it is on Anton to either quell the debate or heighten it after he said this. Now, again, in the heat of battle, adrenaline is flowing, and guess what Anton does?
Don't do that in front of me because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the dick of black people right now.
Okay. This is where things really go off the rails. Any thought of a meaningful and, impactful debate goes out the window right here. And I believe that this is where Anton raises the ante. He actually, he defends himself, but he goes one step further. Now, when you're speaking in alphabet gang terms, in the black community, that is really not taken. It's really not taken in any way positively. And listen, Anton, I don't know if he's trying to agitate him. I don't know if he's trying to poke the bear here. I don't know if he's trying to get under one's skin. That is Corey Holcomb here, but he doesn't. When you're talking alphabet gang and fellatio and its meaning in the black community, especially when a man tells another man about said act, is a problem. It'll always be a problem, and every man, whether a scholar or a man who's down on his luck, those are fighting words. Those are words that are going to incite some sort of furniture moving. It will. Guaranteed it will. And this is exactly where we have here. And unfortunately, the debate is written off from here. It's literally written off. There's no way back from here. Yeah, it's hope that there is, but this is going to incite something a lot more serious as we continue.
You doing?
Oh, now see, if I had to say where this conversation went bad, you can look
right
at
here,
how Corey's looking right here.
Yeah.
This is where the conversation went bad.
Yeah.
Everything else is from downhill from there. There's one thing you learn. You learn this in man discourse.
Okay, we're going to move on from here because I just explained that.
Doesn't even make any sense. That sentence right there, you suck the dick of black people, doesn't make any sense. And it's not honest. That's not even an honest take on Corey.
And the thing about it is, I think it's done to agitate Corey. It really is. I don't think that Anton took well when he said he kisses white ass. When he said Anton kisses white ass, I don't think he took well enough for it. So Anton, in turn, upped the ante that little bit more, and he went for the jugular. That's a jugular move. Listen, you're here to kill a black king that is Corey Holcomb. In the most respectful of ways. He is here to show his serious intent that this could get violent at any time. You don't tell a black man to perform fellatio on another. We have Lana here saying, "Get the Diddy baby oil." Okay, Thank you, Lana, for that. No need for baby oil here, because believe me, it is not needed in such overalls, because right now, these guys don't want to get slipping and sliding. They want to get dipping and diving under those fisticuffs, because it's going to get violent. It would automatically get violent here, but let's see what happens.
You know, Corey has been critical of plenty of black people. I could name about 10 off the top of my head. We're going to get to that in a second, too. Naming people off the top of the head. That comes up in this conversation as well. Oh, we got a lot to get into.
The easy shit. What you do, let me tell you what you do.
Nah, homie, let me tell you.
And here's another thing that Anton does that is considered rude. He points at Corey. It's rude to point. And for Anton to be pointing at Corey, it takes things up another notch, because it is rude to point. And I'm sure in civil discourse, as Anton is well versed in, he knows that too. So he's, again, trying to turn the screw here a bit. It was unnecessary, and I don't think it added. It only took away from the debate, and here we are. We are left with, an argument that lacked de-escalation, and it only gets worse from here. Let's continue.
So, homie, ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't suck dick.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
So fix
You're doing it right now.
He said, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. That is part of the problem.
Yeah, he's poking the bear here. That's poking the bear. That is typical poking the bear. Anton, he wanted to get a rise out of Corey when he told him that he kissed white ass. So he said, okay, if you're going to go there, I'm going to go all the way there. So he went all the way back. Yeah. Is he using greater force than usual? Absolutely. I totally believe that. He does. And Anton has to be, he has to be cognizant of that. He understands what he's done here, and I think he wants to raise the stakes because, again, he wants Corey as angry as he is as he is at the point. Let's go.
And that's what I'm saying. In certain conversations, you can't talk like that. Corey is a man in his 50s. You can't say that, yeah, you do. So that's your doubling and tripling down on that statement, right? I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna be quiet. Let this thing rock out. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit so you can hear.
Start dancing and kissing Caucasian males' ass.
But I don't.
Don't do that.
Okay, so there you saw. Let's relive the clip again. There you saw him kissing Caucasian ass. Anton was pissed off about that, so he said, "Okay, you call me kissing Caucasian ass. Here we go."
Not in front of me, because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the dick of black people right now.
Okay, so there's his shot back, and this is co-host knows that this is the time where it's going to get serious, and there's going to be some furniture movement if cooler heads don't prevail. So we move on.
You doing the easy shit. What you do, let me tell you what you do.
Let me tell you.
The pointing, you saw the pointing there. Problem.
So, homie,
ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't
ain't nobody
suck
gonna
dick.
tell you. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Then he said, yeah, you do. Problem. Another problem. He's taking things up a notch here on Ted. He isn't trying to de-escalate. He's only trying to raise the stakes here.
You doing it right now.
I don't suck dick, homie.
You doing it right now. Homie.
And again, he's there standing on business. He is not backing down. He wants confrontation here. Clearly, he wants it. If he didn't want it, he wouldn't say it. Let's continue.
Believe me when I tell you. I don't do that. I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no dick sucking shit.
I'm going to give you the same energy you give me.
Let's switch seats. I'm with it. Homie, I don't do no.
And this is where we nearly came to blows. Lana said, pew pews fired, line in the sand you can't come back from. No, you can't. No, you can't. I've been in a few fights myself, and when you talk that sort of talk, there's no turning back. It is either Go time. It was about damn near go time right here. When Corey gets in Anton's face and he moves that microphone, it may go. It literally may go down right here. And that's unfortunate because we had two polar opposite views that could have come together and had a peaceful debate, but then we got ass kissing white folk, and then we had dick sucking black folk, and then we're here. And this is a place you can't come back from unless cooler heads prevail. So we're gonna see who does let this de-escalate. Let's continue.
I don't do no dick sucking shit. I'm a motherfucking man. I don't do no dick sucking shit.
I don't give a fuck about none.
Well,
okay, here's the thing, Corey. If you don't know, I'm gonna calm it down for a second. If you don't know about Corey Holcomb, he's very, very, very sensitive about talking about Alphabet Gang and talking about, as Corey would say, backdooria business. Backdooria business meaning, dueling swords, if you know what I mean. He is very, very, very sensitive to that point. If you bring that up to Corey and say that he's a part of that collective, yeah, that's a problem. Corey is one to scrap a time or two. He's done it. He's gone on record to do it. He's not afraid of it. So this is his stand on business moment where he's trying to back Anton down off the ledge, or else it may go a different way. Now, this is serious. This is where things can really fall off the rails now because they're at DEFCON 4. DEFCON 5, it means it's go time. It's war. DEFCON 4 is about where these guys are right now, which is at near war, near blows, near fisticuffs. It could have easily gone off the rails right here. Right here. A locomotive speeding off the tracks with nowhere to stop. It'll take somebody to pull that brake. Let's see what happens.
Tell you what, watch that dick sucking shit, because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no dick sucking,
you
homie.
say a lot of shit that I don't fuck with either. You
okay, but that gay shit, oh, you
I don't give a fuck about what you talking
about. Hey, homie, I tell you what.
I'm right here.
Don't put no dick sucking shit. Don't put no...
Okay, see right here? Let's... If one hand touches another here, it starts. We're off. We're off to the races. The fight begins here. The fight begins right here. If somebody touches another right here, this is where the pushing and the shoving and the fighting begins. Luckily, there isn't any touching of one's person against another. Pause. There is no touching of any person here, because if it did, believe me, I've been here before, and it goes off. It's that time where you push, you shove, and it goes. So, luckily, there is no touching of person here, because this is the time where they're in each other's faces, they're in each other's personal space. This is the time when it's go. When it's DEFCON 4.5, DEFCON 4 3/4 about to go off. One touch and we're out of here.
Dick sucking shit on me, nigga.
I'm from Detroit right
Say
now.
I suck a dick again.
I'm right here, right now.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to respect you.
Dance around it. Dance around it.
No.
I don't do no dick sucking shit.
I'm going to respect you because it's your platform, and I flew out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But you're not bossing up on me.
Yo, we good. I did already. I don't do dick sucking shit.
We can put the microphone right now and go on her back. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my mouth. You running your mouth.
I don't do no dick
You doing
sucking shit.
this shit for the internet. You doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time.
I disagree with that. I definitely disagree with that. I don't think this is for the internet. You want to know why? Because it's rare that these flare-ups happen on the 5150 show. If you watch the 5150 show as long as I have, this is not the nature of the show. The nature of the show is that there's comedy in the cultural commentary. And the fact that this energy has gotten to this place, it's only happened 3 or 4 other times. This is a problem, right? And all this going out back, you know, that you can handle that on your own time. While you're on camera here, I'm like I said, it started off acrimonious. And the fact that we got to this place is interesting. But I'm just saying, like, that line, you suck the dick of black people, is always going to be a trigger for somebody like Corey Holcomb. You got to know that. That's awareness. That's being around people. That's being in the lion's den. You got to know that's going to be a trigger. If you don't know that, you know, let this be your lesson.
Yo, I did already.
See, he's absolutely right. It's that point in time where Anton literally says, "Okay, I'm gonna respect your platform." That calms things down. So Anton turned up the temperature. He did by saying, you know, sucking knee of black people. He did turn it up. So Anton was here. Then Corey went. Corey went here. Anton was here. Then it was about to be here, and then Anton turned it back, turned down the temperature here because it was going to get heated. It was, and for him to tell him that he wanted to go out back and discuss things then and it wasn't going to go to a positive place. It wasn't going to go to anywhere where positivity and where growth could happen. Literally, it was going to be a bad move. It'd be a very, very, very bad move. So very good on Anton to turn down the temperature here because things were going to go really, 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 really bad. And these are from two gentlemen who are in their 40s and 50s, to be fair. So they should know better. But again, fighting can happen to anyone at any time, to be fair. And to say that the discourse between black people, was advanced in this instance, it would be a lie.
Nigga, we can put the microphone right now and go on back. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my mouth.
You running your mouth. I don't do
You doing this shit for the internet. You doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time, no, hold on. If you want to say
show you I ain't doing it for the internet.
If you want to say Anton, listen, don't disrespect me like that. If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that, I'll respect you. But don't boss up on me because you said a lot of shit to me today that I don't fuck with either. But I let that shit ride because you don't know me. You don't know me. So I'm going to extend the same respect to you. You called me out of my name. You said some wild shit, especially with regard to how would it call this nigga out his name? Nigga, I'm telling you that you did. You can't tell me how I get disrespected.
I got a question for bro.
Okay.
No. Hold on. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, see, this is where Corey doesn't realize that Anton's trigger is the fact you called him, a kiss ass Negro. I mean, listen, Anton has worked very, very hard to get into the position he is in now in terms of his platforms, and he is conservative in terms of his political views. That is fine, and that is indeed seen as a total negative in terms of the black community. Most black people, especially in the United States, are Democratic voters, and they see Republicans as racists. There it is. And for Anton to be considered a conservative, considered a Republican, he's considered, a raccoon, an Uncle T, that sort of thing, and that really does irk. So when he's irk a man like Anton, because again, he believes that a conservative black man should have his right to decide who he wants to be, and he shouldn't have to, be Democratic because he's black. He should be able to decide his own political views, and he shouldn't be criticized for such. So that's what really triggered Anton. That's what that's where things really took off. So Corey needs to take responsibility for his part in this fight because he really wanted to bring Anton here to call him a man who kisses white ass. But, he tried to make it a debate, but he wanted to do it within the auspices of a debate, but it never did get there. So that's a trigger for Anton. He never did. Corey never saw that. So when he gets things back, that's what triggered, because Anton had been studying Corey, and Corey is really triggered by all the Backdoria, all the Alphabet Gang activities to which he doesn't want to be affiliated with. And that's what really nearly brought this to blows.
Hold on, we just getting loud. I ain't gonna get loud.
Then don't switch seats.
No, this is my show.
He said, don't get close to me. Why are you so close?
That's true. That is true. Corey really, when he said he wanted to switch seats, he really tried to boss up on Anton and really wanted to show his authority. He did. He wanted to get in his face. He wanted to show that this is my place. You will not be disrespecting me in my place. Step aside, Darlene. The name is Darlene. There it is. Step aside, Darlene. It's time to get active. It's time for me to go. It's go time. And you don't need to be in the middle of us right now. So he told her to step back. It's sort of a, it's sort of a intimidation tactic. But again, Anton wasn't backing down in one way, shape, or form. But we shouldn't be here in the first place, and that is the problem we have in this, is that we were trying to have civil discourse and we resorted to mere violence. Let's continue.
To me, it's a face-to-face debate that's gotten this thing. But this is normal. Like I said, this happens all the time in the barbershop, at the cookout, having a heated discussion, and it gets to that place. And, sometimes you can't go in the back and straighten it out. Or sometimes you can let cooler heads prevail. This is what Corey seems to be trying to do, is to let his cooler head prevail.
My show.
That's cool, but I take that shit as a threat.
Okay, well, it is a threat if you calling me dick sucking. I don't dick suck, my nigga.
Man, fuck what you talking about.
I don't dick suck.
If you want to get back to the conversation, because you ain't going to do shit. Because you're not going to do shit.
Hey, here we go. You think about Anton, he is not afraid. He is not afraid. He is like a honey badger. He is very much like an honey badger. He is, let me tell you, when he gets his bonnet in a twist, when he gets his head in a twist, I tell you what, it is he becomes an ordinary character. And this, he's an official line stepper. He likes throwing in digs and shots to try to egg people on to their baser human instinct. And you know what? I got to give Corey credit here. He did not take the bait. He knew this is his platform. He did not want to lose the respect of his people, but, and make himself act out of character in this instance, but because it was very easy to do so. And Anton was pressing buttons here. He really was. And he'll go on to say that a little later. Let's continue.
Come at me with that dick sucking shit again, nigga.
You're not going to
come at me with... See, I suck dick again, nigga.
We can go.
Here we go. See this? He's ready to go. When he put that microphone down, it's on. It is so on. It is on. He is ready to go. And the thing about it is, Anton was ready to get up and go. He was ready to go. These are two strong-willed individuals who were not going to back down from anything. It was not. Darlene's trying to calm and Corey down because, quite simply, it's bad for Brand for him to be fighting with others. But again, Anton isn't exactly alleviating things by telling him, let's go outside, let's discuss things, because that's where things will really pop off. It's not a good look. Not a good look to have these sort of debates to devolve into this condition.
Back right now.
Fuck I am.
We can go back right now. I'm with it.
I bet you won't say that shit.
We can go back right now.
I got money for all this. Whatever.
I got money too. Don't nobody give a fuck about that shit.
Hey,
no, it's just not respect.
Talking about the equipment.
Darlene, get out the way. Don't get in the way of two niggas. Let me tell you something, homie. I ain't got to go out back right now, because we got to go out back to lead this motherfucker. But I'm saying that dick sucking shit, watch that. That's all I'm saying. And if I don't say it how you like
if you want to get back to the conversation, we can get back to the conversation.
But just know,
I'm not listening to none of that shit, bro.
Here, nigga.
I'm not listening to none of that shit. If you want to get back to the conversation,
long as you
we can
know.
get back to the conversation.
Long as you know.
Bro, you not.
Okay, you see. The irresistible force against the movable object. That's what we're dealing with right now. We are. Corey has a few things to say. Corey is well respected within the black community, to be fair, especially with FBA, within the back FBA community, and Anton's very respected in the neo-black conservative traditional / neoconservative traditional, I wouldn't say right wing, but traditional conservative. I'll leave it at that sort of space. So again, we have two titans ready to go at it. It is not a good look for us to be in this sort of predicament on a platform in which millions can see it. We could easily be made fun of racially through this sort of debate, but luckily, and I repeat, luckily, cooler heads prevail. I'm glad that Anton and Corey can calm things down. Let's see it.
You're not that tough.
Oh, and this is where it cuts out for a second. They're a little late to cut out the show if they didn't want to show that part. But
let's move forward, guys.
Everything straight. Ain't nobody saying I'm sucking dick no more. Everything straight.
For sure.
And that's the bottom line.
Yes.
Now, I will admit, people will Monday morning quarterback this, but that is the core issue here. Are you going to continue in talking about that particular topic? And I think they've straightened that out right now. That is a tripwire. That is something that is going to take this conversation somewhere else.
I got a question for bro, though.
And
and it's good for the staff to try to take the air out of the balloon here and really calm things down and try to divert attention away from the two combatants here and really try to quell any sort of disastrous move on the part of these two people. I'm glad that the staff member here got involved, got him back on track, asked the question that would have forwarded debate rather than animosity, anger, and fisticuffs.
Respect him on that.
Yes, sir.
He said what he said, so I'm going to respect him on that.
Yes, sir. So question, given that black people are on the Democratic plantation, what do you say about the use of Christianity to make slaves out of black people?
In what, today's time or historically?
No, sir. Historically.
Yeah, absolutely. It was used in a negative way, but anything can be used in a positive or negative way. You can weaponize literally anything. Corporate America, for example. You can use the internet in order to push out propaganda, or you can use it to communicate effectively with the people. You can use money to manipulate people, or you can use it to help people.
Corey ain't doing too much talking right about now. Yeah.
Corey trying to calm himself down. He is, because he was on go time. So it's good that the producer of the show got Anton back on schedule and allowed for Corey to calm down, because this could have gone a different route, as already seen. It allowed for Corey to take those 10 seconds and realize that, listen, you have a lot more at stake. People are watching. This can go badly. This can go TMZ style. This can go World Star style. And you don't want that. Not for your brand right now. Not as it is advancing. And listen, let me tell you something. 5150 is a great platform. It's very funny. I watch it. I try to watch it every week. And it is, it is very funny. But again, the one thing about it is Corey doesn't stand for those who become friendly with white people. Okay? And those who forward a conservative, traditional agenda. Corey's very, very much street orientated. Corey's very, very much, he's from Chicago. Shout out to Chi. I love the Chi. Probably my second favorite city in the United States is the Chi. It's Chi-town. I have a few relatives there as well. And, but he's in LA, and he's very, I wouldn't say he's very hood. I think he understands corporate parlance, but he's very much one from the streets. And, he's Southside Chicago all the way around, all the way down. He probably haven't seen too many white people in his lifetime. So his politics are shown to be as such. Very democratic, very, in certain ways, conservative, but in certain ways, very, very much left-wing and very protest-based, to be fair. So, again, Corey's taking a chill pill, and that's good. That's very, very good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely, I'm glad they could cool down.
And so you can't just say that Christianity itself is used. The Quran is used in a negative way in order to control people.
Absolutely.
So it depends on the person, and that's why we evaluate the person based off of their fruit.
You can see Corey's still very, very sore. He about to. Listen, when he's talking, Corey's just thinking of ways to just, okay. But Corey is keeping his composure, keeping his counsel. Good on you for doing that, Corey.
Instead of evaluating them based off of Christianity itself, because everybody that calls himself a Christian is not a Christian.
100%. So I agree that the teachings of Jesus are pure. However, in the hands of Caucasian white males,
that's not true, because I know some good Caucasian white men. The teachings of Jesus. And I know some bad Caucasian white men.
Oh, that's important. He brought it up. This is one of the points that Corey had. He said, you're not going to say anything about white men. That's you're saying you know some good ones, okay?
Yeah, but he's saying also he knows some bad ones. So I got to give Fawcett Media that little bit of a tidbit. He is saying they are good and bad, but what Anton's really saying is good and bad in everyone. You can't say all black people are bad, all black people are good, and all white people are bad. There's good and bad in everyone. I've lived in white spaces pretty much all my life. Pretty much all my life. The Raptors lose now. Oh, God. Yeah, 121-70. Great job, Raps. Anyways, I lived around white people all my life. And some of the better people that I've known were white. Everybody's got to be and then this is where me and Corey are separated, because Corey has only lived the black experience. Anytime he's come across white people, it has been, in his eyes, in a negative aspect. And I get it. I totally get it. But what Anton is saying is that there's good, bad in everyone. And Fawcett Media is coming around, is coming to the conclusion saying, indeed, yeah, he's right to say that most white people are bad. Because, again, he's come from a segregated community, segregated society, where he hasn't seen the good of white people all too often. So he'll have a negative view, a prejudicial negative view of white people, period. I've seen different. Anton's seen different. The likes of Candace Owens has seen different. Lord knows she's seen different. And they must be respected for seeing that difference. Unfortunately, in a lot of these, especially among FBAs who have yet to be around white people for most of their lives, they're going to take a very dim and negative view. And especially to those who have had positive experience with white people. So, it is what it is. Unfortunately, Corey hasn't had too much, too many experiences with them. And for the producer to say that, white people are the devil and that sort of thing. Listen, there's good and bad in all. Believe me, there's good and bad in all, and is the old saying. No skin, most skin folk and kinfolk. We're going to come right back to the second hour here on IG. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live in a very lively debate. And we're here with part 2 in just a bit, so stay tuned. All right? And we're going to be continuing here on YouTube, so thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live, sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTLK.com. Back soon. Yes, indeed. And here, we're going to not end it here. We're going to continue on Talk Live on IG for the second hour as... my Raptors didn't get the win that they were looking for. They were on a good run. They were on a good win streak. Yes, back on Talk Live on the second hour here. The debate between Holcomb and Anton Daniels. Who wins, who loses, and is it, if anybody does. And just going with the play-by-play of what happened on Tuesday nights. Yes, so we continue with the conversation in which the producer has accused white people of being the devils of society, and and Anton's backed off and saying there's good and bad in all people. There are good white people, there are bad white people. Absolutely, he's not shying away from that fact. But again, Corey's about to chime in. Let's continue.
Why are we pointing that out?
Okay,
right,
so
correct.
look, check this out.
This is what let's keep everything respectful.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. The reason I don't have a lot of people up here at the show is because I know a lot of people aren't initiated when it comes to talking to men of a certain mind state. And I don't believe you knew what you was doing when you said something about dick sucking, brother. I
apologize.
Okay. Hey, bro, I appreciate that.
I apologize.
And see, that should be the end of it right there, right? That should
indeed be the end of it. Yes, Fawcett Me, you're absolutely right. That should be the end of it. That should be a time to call a truce and to move forward in the debate and see what each other's viewpoints are, instead of trying to find triggers in order to escalate things once again.
be the end of it. But of course, it's ego. It's ego. Like, I don't see why Anton doesn't end it just right there. This could have been a huge moment to show how black men can have a disagreement and continue on. And sure, they didn't come to blows, but this didn't resolve how I thought it probably should have.
And I think Fawcett Media is completely right here. This was a time, well, listen, one victory was won in the fact that this dispute didn't come to blows. I think that's a victory in and of itself. And it is, and I'm glad that Anton, found it in his heart to apologize to Corey for saying what he did, because, again, this was, Corey was still very, very much steaming. And, again, this is a time where we could turn the temperature down and get back to the issues instead of these straw man tactics that would have resulted in violence. We don't want that. We don't want that in this platform. The rest of the world is only looking for that. Oh, look at these black people. They're only here to fight. They're not here to debate. They can't debate civilly. They can't involve themselves in conflict resolution, which is what happened here, which is great. Men of a certain age should be able to resolve conflict on their own terms and not have things resort to violence, not have things resort to fighting in any way, shape, or form. And it's good that we came to this point in time. Now, temperature's down a bit, but will that temperature cease to remain down? Let's see.
Unfortunately.
I appreciate that, because this ain't no show. The last thing I want to do is get into it with you physically, but I have a switch.
I do too. When I'm a man, just like you.
I respect your switch. I respect your switch.
You too.
Okay, good. I'm glad, brother.
We good.
It ain't no fake shit right here.
Absolutely, I'm with it.
We straight. I respect your switch, brother. And I'm saying, like, a lot of people.
Now, right here is where things should have calmed down. I think, just for added measure, I think what could have been done here was to bring Darlene back, have her sit in the middle of these two. Have these two separated once more. Because I think they're way too close for comfort here. A way to really bring this debate back its full and its full entirety is to have Darling sit in the debate, be a moderator, be a mediator, and really just allow these two to explain their views and not have this sort of discourse where they're in each other's face. Because again, I think the animosity is still here, and because of that animosity, it's only, well, you'll see in a minute.
Don't know the way I was brought up. You can't step to men like that. So I'm not checking you. I'm just trying to let you know
we good.
That when we talk to each other a certain way, like if dick sucking is brought up, that's just like motherfucking pissing on my shoes. So I'm saying like I could get back straight. When I shook your hand, it wasn't phony.
Listen, I get into it with my homies. I get into it.
You got to stop, Anton, and acknowledge that. This is what I'm saying. There's little moments here that could have smoothed this thing completely over. Because Corey's actually doing a lot here to completely reverse and say, hey, let's have the conversation. We don't have to do all that. He took his moment. He was quiet. And he came back with this. That is an offering. You got to acknowledge that. You said they apologized. But like I said, a lot of things come into play. Like I said, nerves, whatever preconceived notions they have of each other, because Anton says he did some research on Corey, and Corey's pretty much an open book right there. From what I know of him, he's pretty much who he is on the 5150 show and off.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Corey Holcomb is an FBA African American. He is. That's Corey. He is post-slavery man who has only lived the American experience, only been in and around black people most of his life. He has had the odd occasion where he's been in and around multicultural environments, but this is him. He has experienced a black experience. All right, especially in the United States. And he is one to, be very sensitive about, especially about, Backdoria / Alphabet Gang business. And, he doesn't want to be a part of that at all. And once he said something, once Anton said that about him, and I think he did because he realized that I think Anton's not a dumb individual. He's not a dumb individual. He's very, very astute, very, very erudite, very, very intellectually sound individual. And I think he found Corey's triggers. And once he went to a place where he said once Corey said he was an ass, because believe me, it's Corey who set this off. But if Corey's going to start it, Anton was definitely sure to finish it. Now, again, as Fawcett was saying here, this is the time to quell things. This is the time to calm things down. This is the time to bond and show the world that, indeed, black people can debate in peace. But, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I think this conversation needed a few more acknowledgments of, like, we brothers, let's have this conversation.
And I think they should have been separated. I really do. I think that Darling should have got in the middle of them too. I think that it would have brought formality back to the debate and allowed for people to share their views in a peaceful sort of way. But with these two strong-willed individuals in each other's space, yeah, it would take someone of really, really strong, really strong mindset to calm things down and let things settle. But there ain't other spaces, so this can be kicked off again.
But I don't know if that was the energy.
Yeah. It wasn't phony.
Listen, I get into it with my homies. I get into it with my brothers.
Right.
I don't have no sisters. I got three brothers.
Right.
And we scrap it out. I scrap with my nephews. It is what it is. And then we shake hands and we keep it moving once we have a disagreement and we get it out of our system. So if we good, then we good.
I'm good.
I'm with it. Let's get to the conversation.
That's why I tried to explain myself right there, because I'm like, this man probably don't even know that my mind is set up, Anton, my mind is set up when people do things like I call it backdooria on my show. When people throw that at you, it's a set off. And I'm saying, like, I ain't trying to get set off. I think I'm a lot more than somebody with name calling to get at me. But I'm saying, like,
but see, I don't believe you, Corey. I don't believe you, bro.
Okay.
And let me tell you why I don't believe you. Because you do the same shit that you feel offended by.
Okay, so Anton raises the temperature again here. He does. He doesn't believe him. Okay, so he's being slightly disingenuous here in the sense that he wants to reinvigorate the animosity between the two. Because by saying he doesn't believe him, doesn't say he's a man of his word, and then, you know, it becomes mono, you know, disagreement, and then things can move forward, and then things go further. But, you know, this is not a de-escalation tactic on the part of Anton Daniels. It just isn't. It's only going to accelerate from here. So, as Corey's trying to take things down, Anton's really trying to ratchet things up a slight bit, but it's up to him to turn it down. Let's see.
Really?
You do, absolutely.
Can you give me an example?
You just did it. You said a lot of shit to me that I don't necessarily care about.
I ain't said nothing about dick sucking.
You pick and choose what's disrespectful because you applying it to you. It's other people out there that don't take that shit.
Okay, well, I'm glad you said that. So listen to me, Anton.
But hold on. Let me say this last part.
Land.
But I get it because you don't know me and I don't know you. So you don't know what I look at as disrespectful. And so as a result, I just let that shit ride. The only thing that ever triggers me is it, and this is why I like to do shows in person. I told you before the show, I said I don't do no more live streams with people that I don't know. Did I not say that? Because I want to see and look in their eyes and see what's really happening, right? And the reason that is because the only thing that set me off is if somebody make it seem like they ready to do something. Then I'm like, okay, well, it's all hands up. Fuck the conversation.
Well,
and see, this is the thing. Anton only does these debates face to face, mano a mano, because he wants people to, you know, stand on business with what they have to say, or if it comes to blows, it comes to blows. Now, again, are you coming to any sort of debate in good faith in this instance or not? Who's to say? But I think those who, and this may be problematic to Anton, is the fact that those who are in lockstep, sort of like a Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, they have had a few times where they've had they've had debates, or they have talks on the phone, and Anton was even in Miami for Fresh and Fit's show, and they're in lockstep in terms of their belief systems. Now, Myron takes things a bit further, sort of a racist slant on things, to be fair. Now, that's, again, to be salacious and to really drive viewers, no matter how much Myron does believe in it. But, again, these two are in lockstep with each other. And I think that's what affects Corey, for the most part, is the fact that he's in lockstep with these sort of individuals, and they can speak freely on these sort of issues that Corey doesn't really care for. He doesn't really care for these sort of divisive sort of debates and on these ideas that, because again, Corey's gone on record to say he does not like Myron at all. He doesn't like Myron, and I think that's where things I would shudder to think if he invites Myron Gaines on this show, and what what will happen between these two if they do appear in front of each other. Now, it's good that these two are separated, but again, these two are black men. I don't think that Corey want to get into the space of Myron because I think, they are so divergent in their viewpoints. They're so polar opposites in their viewpoints. And if you had a look at what Myron Gaines had to say about this debate, you'll understand why. But yeah, I think at this point in time, Anton's not turning down the temperature. He's keeping it at a certain high level. And does this mean for good discourse? Not necessarily.
So basically, you're going to live streams to have interactions like this. Because if that's the case, that you're inviting drama into your life, which, I got to talk about the stagecraft of Anton Daniels too, because Anton is known for this. Like, he's known to go on platforms and garner attention to then kind of ingratiate himself to their audience or prove something to the audience, which the 5150 audience, the chat room goons, they're a tougher crowd.
Yes.
So I felt like Anton had his defense up because of that.
Yes, I agree with Fawcett on this. I mean, Anton has gone on Fresh and Fit for lack of a better word, and I think he's been on Piers Morgan. He's been on CNN a few times as well, where he has taken a conservative stance, and he has debated freely on political talking points, and also when it comes to intersexual dynamics, especially on Fresh and Fit, where he is literally, shredded those from the feminist echo chamber down to size, literally. If you ever get a chance to watch FNF with Anton, please do, because it is seriously interesting, to be fair and frank. But I think Fawcett Media is absolutely right. This is indeed part of his stagecraft. Anton is willing to go on these sort of shows and confront people face to face in order to get people in or outside their frame, depending on their viewpoint, if they agree or disagree on certain subjects. And I think, to have this sort of confrontation, it only raises the profile of an Anton Daniels at the end of the day, because, again, any publicity is good publicity. Let's continue.
And so, in order to garner that attention, he's probably got to exhibit that he ain't no punk. Which, if you really see Corey ain't on that. He ain't on trying to punk you. But if you trip that line, as you see, he gonna press you. And so he's pressing him right now, just by standing in space. He didn't even move back.
Yeah, and that's why I say Darlene should be in the middle of these two. This is a bad move in terms of debates. That is why you have two podiums at other sides of each other instead of having things right in next to each other, because that only breeds connotation, because you're in each other's spaces. That only breeds negative connotations and confrontation between the two debatees. So, this is the time to separate the two individuals, the two combatants. Well, near combatants. They're not combatants. They had aggro on each other. I get it, but this is a bad move to have these two in this space like that there. Let's continue.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
or that
the pressure isn't off yet. It's still right there next to you. But yeah, I mean, that is kind of the real of what's happening in this moment. Anton's definitely going to make some clips. He's already done a live stream after the show. Like, it's crazy.
And we'll check that out a little later as well, what he had to say. But yeah, not exactly. I'll tell you something. Anton, very intelligent guy, but a fire starter. He is a fire starter. I do see that now.
So there is a financial incentive for Anton. That is his reason for being on YouTube.
Or raison d'etre. He's trying to say reason for being, but it is raison d'etre. French language study never dies. Let's continue.
YouTube.
How about this? People may be ready to do something for whatever reason. They want to be ready to do something. But what I'm saying to you is, you know, in this world, they are trying to normalize men in dresses. They trying to normalize a woman wearing a thong in front of a church gathering or whatever.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? I could handle whatever is happening out there, but I'm saying, like, I'm still standing on this. I'm standing on this. If a man walking up to me with some homosexual talk.
Okay. Okay. You'd think this was squashed. Corey isn't done. He did not like the fact that he talked about him in that sort of homosexual of ways. And it still irked Corey. Now, you think things are squashed and they can move on to talk about meaningful debates, but again, you got to dig here by Anton, and here Corey doesn't want to let this that part of the dialogue go. He doesn't want to do it. He's very, very much aggrieved by the subject matter, and he has a right to. But if you're going to forward the discourse, you need to let this go. But he doesn't. He doesn't. That's why I say, should he be in this position, speaking to Anton so close to him? Not exactly the right way to do it. I think he should have. There should have been. I mean, words can still carry. That's fine. But at least you have a buffer. At least you get back. You can compose yourself and get back to what was the meaning of this meeting. The meaning of this meeting, which is to debate certain topics within the Black community in the United States.
Like, I could take. I said this before. I could take a meeting at a brother like Tyler Perry's house because I know what's gonna happen if it go bad. The house gonna get tore up. I ain't saying that to act like I'm tough. I'm just saying,
I feel you.
There's certain things that we as men cannot say to each other without clashing.
Right.
And it is my opinion with niggas that I know and where I'm from, if I say to one of my homies, man, suck a dick, everybody will get quiet that we know.
Yes.
And they'll be like, what is that? What is that? Because it's like, that's that homosexual talk.
Now, again, I'm sure Anton knows this. I'm sure he knows this because he's from Detroit. He understands that those type words will set something off, will be triggering, and it was to Corey, especially when he talks about this sort of behavior as being very foul and against the teachings of the Bible, and he doesn't want any part of it. He really, really doesn't want any part of that. And he was, he took umbrage to that. He really did. But Anton, does he take heed to this point? Does he wish to quell the frustrations and the anger? I would say anger. I would say just the sheer frustration and negative thoughts that are going through Corey's head. I don't think he is, unfortunately. And Anton, things will escalate again.
So what I'm saying is, if it's one way to get a brother like me, I know brothers who are preachers that would put their religion down for that right there. That's all I'm saying, black man.
It's lying.
Listen. That's where you at. So I'm gonna respect that.
Thank you, brother.
It's simple as that.
I don't want no drama.
It's simple as that.
I swear I don't want no drama, man. My life is good.
Mine's is too.
I believe you. My life is good.
I'm
man.
with you.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't want you to come up here for that. It's just the simple misunderstandings that we as men can have. I think older black men like us need to make sure there are boundaries that simply can't be crossed when men are talking.
And and this is a teachable moment. Corey is right. Corey is right to say that this is a teachable moment. There are things that people can't cross. You can't say that you kiss ass to white people, especially to a man like Anton Daniels, just as much as you cannot say that you should not that you should not be you are accused of being a fellatio expert to black men everywhere. You can't say these certain things. There are certain lines you can't. There are certain things you can't come back from, and that's one of them. So again, but it's outlining these rules, these boundaries that really is hoped quell things. But yeah,
and
right.
If you tell me a boundary, Anton, if you tell me a boundary, I promise you, I'm going to do my best not to cross that boundary. When I'm talking to Willie D don't like when you call him nigga. And I go out my way not to call Willie D nigga because I look at him as a man.
I kick it with Willie too. For me though, I don't give a fuck about the talking. I don't have no boundaries. I don't care if a nigga say something about me. It is what niggas say shit like that all the time. Like that's the environment that we live in. I only care about my real life.
Can I ask you a question? You just said men talk disrespectfully to you in your face all the time.
No.
This is nothing.
You did not hear what I said. I don't want to miss it. They do that shit all the time. You see it in the chat. You see it.
That's funny because the chat is in the studio, so you can see it. So that's funny. Every time somebody comes into the studio, they notice the chat. Like all of a sudden, they be like, "Oh, they talking about you." So Anton is very aware of what's happening in that chat room, and it's also making him a little more, I think, confrontational.
Yeah, it's agitating Anton because this is Corey's platform. So he's got a lot of people. Corey's got a lot of people who's basically calling Anton everything but a child of God. So I can see why he is slightly irked because he's not on his own platform. He can't see the chat. I think that chat should have been at least closed, among the two debaters here, among the two orators here, and just allow them to debate amongst themselves. Because again, this is just only ratcheting things up for Anton, and that's I think and with slightly good cause. This is the reason why Anton's is aggravated at this point because he's had to face a lot. I mean, I'm sure he's been called Uncle Tom, Raccoon, everything under the sun here, and nothing of any positive meaning here. So again, it's I think that's aggravating Anton. I think if Corey wanted to quell things himself, if he wanted to turn down the temperature in this debate, if he wanted to, turn off the heat on the show, he needed to shut off that chat. I think that's what set off Anton. To be fair,
get in the comments, all of that shit, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about that shit, right?
That's right, because that's for the internet.
Right. So when people say stuff, I don't take it personal. Because it's not a thing to me. It's just talk. The only thing I care about is what happened in real life. When I cut that shit off in real life, my life is great.
Right. Let me tell you something.
So my point is that I don't take nothing personal unless it get personal, unless it gets physical. That's the only thing I'm up on. Anything else I can walk away from. I don't give a fuck about that. My life, I could walk away and I'm probably gonna never see that person again.
I understand. So this is why the chat.
That was interesting. See, he's still harboring some resentment for the clash. You know what I'm saying? Corey tries to move on to maintain professionalism in some ways, but Anton is still caught for some reason. And
it's because of the chat. I'll tell you that. It's because Fawcett, it's because of the chat. The chat is what's really setting off Anton, even though he's trying to keep his composure, he's trying to focus on the debate. I think he saw a few things in the chat that's really, steered him the wrong way. And I think Corey's trying to bring him back and say, hey, listen, let's try and get back on track here. And kudos to Corey for doing that. Really, kudos to Corey for doing that, because again, this is his home base. This is the and he has relative charge of the chat itself. I mean, he can't stop what people say about him. But again, it's definitely on Corey to try and turn down the temperature once again, but it seems not to be happening. And things have already been, the torch has already been lit. Unfortunately, he's still trying to temper it down, but the torch is the flames are burning somewhere.
I don't understand why. I
allow them, and in fact, I encourage them to be themselves in the chat, because this is a computer screen. But one thing I will say this is to the youngsters especially, because they the ones who really don't know. I'm talking about 35 and under. When you in a man's face, you have to watch how you talk to them, because face to face is a lot different than the computer.
Yes.
On the computer, I got motherfuckers
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, see, this is what Fawcett doesn't understand. Which is fine. Corey's going back to that whole, I mean, it's really, really affecting the whole D-sucking incident, the D-sucking comments. It's really irking him. And he just he's returning to it and returning to it and returning to it. And Anton wants to move on with the debate, but he is not letting it go. And that's on the fault of Corey. He's done well in terms of calming down the temperature, absolutely, but he keeps bringing this thing about D-sucking back up, right? And it's about to set off Anton. It really, really is. The chat's already at his throat, and then my man doesn't want to let that comment go, and he is going back to it, and he's got to show, and when he says he's trying to show young people that sort of language will not be tolerated, so he's trying to, in a way, in a surreptitious, in a roundabout way, trying to scold Anton for his comments, for the D-sucking comments. He's still trying to scold him, and Anton, he isn't going to take that long and for lengthy periods. He's already ratcheted it up there. He already went there, and he's going to go back there in just a second.
And all kind of shit about me on the computer. Let me ask you a question. But if they in my face saying that to me,
let me ask you a question.
It can go bad.
See, there you go. See, Corey is still not letting it go. He's still trying to assert his dominance by saying, okay, if you say that to me, it can go bad. He doesn't want him to get things to this level, but he should walk away and move on to another subject. This is where the producers have got to get a hold on this and say, hey, listen, let's try and turn this thing around. Or Corey's got to say, listen, let me step back. Let's talk about something else. But he keeps going back to this subject. And if you're going to do that, it's going to set a person off. Whenever you keep jabbing on a person, you did this, it's going to aggravate. It's going to literally aggravate them. So you're going to either confront them on said issue, or you're going to walk away from the debate itself, and then there's no meaningful dialogue at all. If you apologize, and if you dap, and if you want to move on, then move on. But Corey didn't move on here. He's still on that subject. He still feels aggrieved. He still feels hurt. That's true. But you have to be the bigger man here and take things away from the scene of the argument, the scene of the altercation. You got to get away from that. But he's still here, and believe me, Anton is going to take umbrage to this.
Why? I'm not saying I'm not. No. Hold on. I'm not acting tough.
I'm asking you a real question. Why do you get triggered?
Can we talk about body language there? Corey is comfortable. Anton is talking, but he's picked up the mic and now he's leaning back. You know, like he's bracing himself. So I mean, there's kind of a mismatch on the energies.
No, it's not. It isn't a mismatch. It's literally he's about to say something about it because Corey keeps coming back to the same subject of D-sucking. He's still on that subject. They think they're going to move on. Clearly, they're not moving on. So therefore, it's aggravating Anton. So now he's in a space where he's saying, "Okay, I'm gonna throw a jab at you." That's why I'm leaning back like this. I'm gonna throw a jab. Yeah. This is where things are gonna start to fall off the rails, and this is where, yeah, things return to baser instincts.
This is a long clip, but let me skip to where this finally ends up. It's really a lesson in this. It's a lesson in this and how to deal with each other as black men. You know, like knowing boundaries, knowing what to say, and knowing when to just let it go.
No,
see, okay, we're going to stop here for a second. Now we're going to move back in because I want to catch that myself. So, yeah, we're going to go here. Yes. 5150. I'm going to go back to things here because I really want to hear that piece right there, and I think I have it queued up. Here we go. Here we go. Here it is.
They just happen to pop up. That's got to be explained to lames.
Okay.
I have a nigga shadowing me. I ain't finna have no nigga. What is one?
Okay, see, this is where things...
Last Netflix special was not it.
And I tiptoed around it.
And you tiptoed around it because you didn't want the smoke.
I did. Yeah, because I saw Charles Barkley in the airport one day. And
online, but I really am out in every single city. I done visited almost every. How is it different?
I said, if somebody.
You got to keep the same energy across the board. You can't pick and choose when you can disrespect somebody and when you can't disrespect somebody.
Savage it may seem. When you dealing with a man,
here we go.
You can set a man off if you in his face and you saying things that are not. I'm not talking about somebody just saying anything. I'm talking about there are certain things, like I can't walk up to a man walking down the street with his wife, Anton, and say, "Man, your bitch thick." I'll be like, wait a minute. Of course, by me being older, the last thing I want is drama in the streets. But what I'm saying is, you can't disrespect men face to face. You can do it online because it's easy to do it online.
Nope. See, that's where we disagree.
Okay, I want to hear this.
That's where we disagree because you got to keep the same energy across the board. You can't pick and choose when you can disrespect somebody and when you can't disrespect somebody, and then pick and choose when you're going to react to somebody disrespecting you. You wrong, bro. You wrong as two left shoes. You're wrong, bro. I fuck with you. I fuck with you because you are one of the most disrespectful, and stand on that shit.
But I want to understand what you're saying, Anton. You missed me. When you say you can't disrespect people with what? Make sure you explain that to me.
You got to keep the same energy across the board, bro.
I don't understand.
You can't say I'm going to disrespect you online, but then you can't do nothing in person.
Well, trust me.
That's not. No, you can't do that.
I'm not saying what you're wrong about. But listen, talking to somebody in person is different than talking to somebody online. And if I'm so disrespectful, what do I do to be disrespectful online? Because you said I'm disrespectful online.
You just said out of your own mouth that you will be disrespectful online.
It
ain't even. Yes, you did. You just said that.
Disrespectful online?
You said you can disrespect. It's different if you disrespect somebody online versus doing it in real life.
No, I didn't say what I would do.
How is it different?
I said if somebody in the chat room is saying something disrespectful about me, I don't hold that against them because they're
What
typing.
about when you talking about real people?
What do you mean?
If you comment on somebody and you give your opinion on real people.
I don't want to go back and forth. I'm trying to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Do you hear me when I say
what you're saying?
Whatever I say online, giving an opinion of something is different than if I am.
About an opinion. I said disrespectful. How can you determine whether or not somebody feels disrespected?
Well, feelings is one thing, man.
You felt some type of way?
Yeah, because ain't nobody finna stand in front of my face and talk to me like they on my level when it comes to homosexuality. Like that'll start a war. That'll start a war.
We can agree to disagree. I think you're wrong, bro. I personally, I'm telling you directly, you're hypocritical.
Okay, well, you can say that. I don't think I'm gonna win that argument with you now. But what I am saying to you, Anton, is when you are talking to men face to face, trust me when I tell you this, man, it's different than online. Face to face. I'm the
same person in real life as I am online. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. Right? Anybody, listen, I go city to city. I'm not an online nigga, bro. Like, I create content online, but I really am out in every single city. I done visited almost every single state. I have real meetups in real life. I shake hands. I kick it with people in real life. And I go out there and kick it with the people. I'm not different online than...
Very good for 5150, even after that debate, to still highlight, as you can see. Let me move it out of the way here. Let me move myself out of the way. Still highlight his Instagram and his YouTube channel. So shout out to Corey Holcomb. Didn't have to do that, but he kept that up there. And shout out to his staff for doing that. That was a solid. That was a definite solid.
I am in real life. People may think that because they may have never met me in real life, but I keep the same energy. I reciprocate. Or I'm willing to walk away unless it goes up. If it's going to go up, then it's just going to go up and we just going to figure it out from there. But the fact of the matter is, I don't switch up.
See, I'm not
going to talk about you online. Hold on. I'm not going to talk about you online. And then when I see you in real life, I'm going to be like, man, you know I'm just playing. I'm not that type of nigga.
Yeah, but
either I fuck with you or I don't.
But see, that's just one scenario, Anton. What I'm saying to you is this. This is what I'm saying to you. I ain't saying it to offset what you just said. I'm trying to talk to you now.
And I'm not a tough guy either.
I'm not either.
I'm not a tough guy.
I'm not a tough guy. I don't even want to perpetrate like I'm a tough guy. But what I'm saying is, when men stand between each other, there is energy that is being transferred. And trust me, when men disrespect each other face to face, motherfuckers can die.
I agree.
That's why when I'm talking to a man, especially face to face, I try to make sure I don't go over the line. And if I ever go over the line, I can apologize.
Is what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying and I agree with you.
Right.
Why is it only face to face? That's where we disagree at.
Well, anything I said, I will say in the face of a man that I said it about.
All right, well, that's
cool. I don't go there to try to. I don't have to shock jock, even though that's something that people say easily. Oh, he's shock jocking. No. Anything I've said about anybody, I will say right to them if they standing in front of me. And I would like for somebody to research the internet on things I've said and show me that I wouldn't say something to somebody if they were standing there. The only thing I said I wouldn't say to somebody if they were standing there, because I saw Charles Barkley in the airport one day. And I realized how big he was when I saw him in the airport. Now, I've said things about Charles Barkley. If he was standing in front of me and he said, say that shit now, I'll be like, we black, man. Come on, let's calm down. I ain't gonna lie. That's the only one.
You know what the problem with this show today is? We got to do a part 2. Because we ain't talked about none of the shit that we supposed to talk about.
That's why, because we can't say dick sucking in front of each other, brother.
Okay, see, this is yeah. Again, the whole dick sucking thing took things off the rails, but again, they're on their way to a part 2, people. They are on their way to reconciliation. Something could have been done. Well done on Anton's part for bringing things down and really trying to get to the heart of the matter. But what happened? What happened? Why did this fall off the rails? We have, I'd say, we're going to move this up a little bit further to see why things are going on. Because, again, they were in a good way here. At the 44th minute, they were in a good way. But we are going to advance things a little further here and see why, indeed, things went badly. Because I don't understand why. We were in a good place here. And then this.
You don't know, brother. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about
you speaking on her.
I'm not talking about you talking about her. I'm talking about when there's certain subjects that come up on your show.
We done argued on the air a million times.
Man, come on, bro.
I'm just saying.
Corey, sometimes you be on bullshit. Nobody call you out on it.
Now I'm trying to teach you, but I don't think you catching it.
Okay, I'm observe.
You don't know my relationship with this woman. You don't know. So when you see it online and speak on what you see online, you can't really speak from factual things that are happening in the world, Anton.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So, and with Craig, I don't know why motherfuckers say Craig don't have a backbone around me. Because one thing I say that Craig beat most motherfuckers' ass I know. I see motherfuckers don't be fighting Craig. I see motherfuckers don't run up on him with that bullshit quick. The motherfuckers who I seen ran up on Craig way bigger than Craig. So the obvious needs to be said because I believe that there's a lot of people who don't know the obvious, and I can't teach you that in an episode. But I'm saying, like, if you ever see me around any woman, Anton, if you see me around any woman, trust me, dude's been paid, homie. And I can't say it no other way better than that. Dude's been paid. That might not be something you will catch. I'm saying this for the streets. Dude's been paid, homie. Trust me, man. Trust me. I don't be around just anybody. I can't let any type of woman just come with me and be connected to me in no way.
Okay, we're going to move a little further on.
If you around me, it's a reason you around me. And I'm saying, like, I don't know if I could graduate you to that next level of the conversation. And that ain't no disrespect to you. But I'm saying, like, you see somebody around me, oh, I ain't just got anybody around me. Dude's been paid, homie.
Okay.
He's grown. And I'm saying, like, if they asked me to go to the school and speak to the children, I would tell the children to do what's right. Because I know that's what they're supposed to do. I'll be like, listen, do what's right. Whenever you get that feeling like you're doing something wrong, then, step back and do what's right. That's what I would tell.
Okay, so listen, things are going well here. The debate has calmed down. Things are going well, but it's a time where, okay, right here, right around this point, where things fall off. Because I think things were meaningful. Anton wanted another debate between the two of them because they never got to really discuss about certain subject matters. And, I think this was becoming a fulfilling debate. It really was. But, unfortunately, let's check it out.
That had to carry themselves a certain way because they made a decision that they wasn't supposed to make.
And it shows that you've been around people that ain't seen the other side of the game. Because some of the smartest men I know they've been to college and gave that time up. And it was actually a learning process for them. But they still got to stand 10 toes down when they out here, Anton. I don't believe that you tried to disrespect me now that I've been talking to you. I don't believe that. I believe that you are the way you are. I am the way I am. And it can clash if people are not educated on how to be around each other because men can go to war over misunderstanding.
He's throwing an intellectual shot right now.
What am I doing?
So without saying it, he's basically saying, oh, you from a different space, so you don't get the way that we move over here.
Okay. This is where, okay. Is he saying that debatable, but it could be allowed to let slide. It could be allowed to let slide here. Say what you want. Let's have a fulfilling debate. It's been near an hour that you have been here, and yet that could be avoided. That you can let him slide on that. I don't think he meant it in that way. Let's see what Corey says.
Over here or anywhere in the United States of America, and that's not a black thing. I'm talking about Caucasians, Hispanics, and Asians understand the respect level men must have when they're in front of each other because it can trigger war. That's all I'm saying to you.
I understand everything that happens when it happens. I'm a chess player. That's what I've been playing my entire life. Okay. Maybe you walked into something that you wasn't expecting.
I don't go with.
Maybe I knew what you was gonna do before you did it.
Maybe, maybe. But I tell you what. That's a dangerous game to play, especially if you got a life that you live in. Because I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of people in the cemetery that didn't know it was finna happen like that fast. That's why out here I try to walk under the code. There's a code out here.
No, you don't. And that's why I said
you say I don't walk under the code?
No, you're hypocritical. I told you that to your face.
The whole world here.
Okay. Yeah. Anton. I think Corey's trying to reach an understanding here. He's trying to really bring things down and calm things down and bring things together here. But Anton is not having any of it at all. He isn't. He's here and he's ready to stand on business with regards to his viewpoint. And, I think a lot of this could be, could be avoided for the greater good, but Anton doesn't wish to avoid things. He doesn't wish to, he doesn't wish to end things in polite discourse. So for him to say he's a hypocrite, that's what's going to start things once again. Because, it's not good for discourse here. It really isn't. I think Anton was looking for confrontation, and he found it. He found it here, and I think that sort of rhetoric really stirs the pot.
But what are you talking about?
No. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite when it comes. I believe you. When it comes to specifically you moving by a code.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Because you think that you can say what you want to say when you want to say it, and that people are supposed to respect the way that you move, but I don't think that you move the way that you're supposed to anyway.
I want this thing to be studied because here's the truth. Brother Anton is talking about everybody else but himself and white men. This is a fact.
I like this chat. Let me tell y'all.
He's
why
talking
I like
about
the chat.
Everything but himself and white men.
No, listen. I told you.
Okay, see, that's what. And now he says that he's not lived. Anton's saying he doesn't live but he doesn't talk it like he lives it. And then all of a sudden it goes back to the old accusation that that Anton is is a protector of the enemy, to be fair, white people, and he has nothing bad to say about them. And so we're back at, polar opposites once again. There was a consensus coming, but Anton lit the fuse and lit the flame, lit the wick. Let's say that. And here we are.
I want to come back and have a full conversation about it, or we can talk about it right now. I ain't got nothing better to do.
Study this episode.
Shout out to the
shit on Caucasian males.
Shout out to the chat.
Shit on himself.
I'm not gonna shit on nobody.
Yeah, you shitted on black people. You shitted on motherfuckers.
I feel like I shitted on you.
I stopped that in mid-sentence. This is what brought it back.
and white men.
No, listen. I told you I want to come back and have a full conversation about it, or we can talk about it right now. I ain't got nothing better to do.
Study this episode.
Shout out to the
shit on Caucasian males.
Shout out to the
ain't shit on
I'm
himself.
not gonna shit on nobody.
Yeah, you shitted on black people. You shitted on motherfuckers.
I feel like I shitted on you.
Okay, so that is where we're back to the heat. Yeah, this is the point right here. When he says that, that he kisses ass on white people and he doesn't have anything about black people and he shits on them and then he comes back with shitting on you, it's right back to square. It's bad, people. It's bad. So let's just watch the end. It's the good thing about it is it didn't end in fisticuffs. Let's continue this.
To your face.
Be careful shitting on me because I feel like you're talking shit again.
I'm not talking shit. I'm telling you.
Careful.
I'm telling you.
You shitted on me to my face, but that shit will lead to some danger.
Will we please stop the
trust me,
the tough talk? I got security. You got security.
Homie, I ain't got security. Them my people.
Cool. Them your
You
security
gotta
people.
hire a motherfucker to be with you.
Absolutely. I'm always gonna hire somebody to.
You better.
100%.
How you be talking?
Corey, stop talking tough. Stop talking.
Homie,
tough.
you
just said that.
I'm not talking tough. I'm talking to you straight up.
Why are you so?
You said you disrespected me in my face.
He did disrespect him to his face. He did. When he said he shit on you, it's a disrespect to his face. Anton chose violence today, even though he didn't want violence. But if you're gonna bring it to Anton's gonna bring it back to you, and we're here. And when you say you shit on him, and then you had the D sucking stuff, it's just Anton did he wanted to debate topics, yes, but he wanted to fire off some shots, and he did. And this is why things didn't end well here, and it led to this conclusion.
And then you act like it was all good.
That I disrespected you to your face. So I'm confirming what you said. You felt disrespected. So I am telling you that I disrespected you if that's the way you felt. Is that not what you said? You said that out of your mouth. And so I apologized when you said that you felt disrespected.
No. The reason you said you disrespected me in my face
because you don't accept the apology because you still
talking about everybody else except yourself and white men.
I'm telling you what I said. You felt offended by it, so I apologize. All I'm doing is rehashing a conversation that happened. Why are you so easily offended?
You still talking about me? It sounds like I'm arguing
because I'm right. See,
I'll be around bitches and they tell me about myself all the time. Be gone.
No.
That shit don't hurt no feelings. It's probably better this way.
Because I just proved my point.
Be down. So you proved the point.
You're hypocritical.
Homie, just gone, man.
You hypocritical.
Just gone, man.
You
just gone.
I'm about to jet.
You done did this before. Get your bitch ass the Hey, homie.
All right, I'm out.
Get your bitch ass the fuck on and walk over there with your bodyguard and your bitch, nigga. Walk over there.
And this is where it ends. Yeah. You got two strong-willed individuals, and this is the only way it was going to end. It was going to end in acrimony. Nothing was going to be solved here. I think they were busy triggering with each other, and that is why things are the way they are here. So let's get into it. Let's get into this right here. We're back here so here's the aftermath. Corey had a lot of things to say about Anton upon his departure from the show. The only good thing that came about that was Anton eventually left. But now we're about to hear from Corey and his Room 9 colleagues on his platform about what happened after the show here. And it's not too ingratiating in and of itself. Let's continue.
Action is about to happen. And in fact, that's probably an adrenaline response. And I think it's actually a healthy response to a degree because it is your body.
Oh, shout out to Mediocre Story Reviews for this video. Anton Daniels goes off on Corey Holcomb after confrontation. Like and subscribe to Mediocre Story Reviews doing wonderful things in the YouTube streets. Fair use. Let's get back to it.
preparing you for the battle that may ensue. Now, that adrenaline response will make you go back into your monkey brain, right? And to be tunnel vision into a target in front of you. So sometimes your best decisions are not being made when you are encountering or experiencing a high adrenaline response. But that shake, generally, that don't mean nothing. I just want to let y'all, as well as Anton, know that.
That nigga was shaking like a stripper.
Just to be partial, that's usually how I act before.
Let me go back for a second because he was talking about him shaking. Hold on.
Don't mean that no action is about.
Listen.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Okay, so we good.
But
We
you're
good.
not up on me.
Y'all
We good. I did already. I don't need this
We can put the
sucking shit.
microphone right now and going up. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not.
Okay, here we go. All right, now Anton. Let me move this out the screen right here.
How do I? Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you what was this right here.
Oh.
But before I get into you, Anton, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the perception of it. All right.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Okay. So the perception of it from a man point of view, this is two men having passionate conversations. This is one man thinking that he's harder than the other, and the other man proving that he's not. And then they then right here.
Back on Talk Live. Sorry.
Okay.
Back on Talk Live here on IG and YouTube. We're talking about the aftermath of the debate between Corey Holcomb, or the darn near fisticuffs between Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels. The clip of the week, quite simply, with him on Black YouTube and on the Black social media. But let's continue with this debate on Anton's platform, Room 9. Let's continue.
That nigga was like this.
Yeah.
He was holding the microphone like this, nigga. That's
Okay.
That's the honest to God on everything. That nigga was shaking like a stripper, bro.
Just because you are shaking like that don't mean that no action is about to happen. And in fact, that's probably an adrenaline response. And I think it's actually a healthy response to a degree, because it is your body preparing you for the battle that may ensue. Now, that adrenaline response will make you go back into your monkey brain, right? And to be tunnel vision into a target in front of you. So sometimes your best decisions are not being made when you are encountering or experiencing a high adrenaline response. But that shake, generally, that don't mean nothing. I just want to let y'all, as well as Anton, know that.
That nigga was shaking like a stripper.
Just to be partial, that's usually how I act before.
Absolutely true. Yeah, absolutely. Some people shake before they really get violent. And it is a response to an adrenaline rush. Let's continue.
I hit somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I see.
Listen.
That's my point.
I'm not gonna I get real fidgety, like what the fuck am I about to do?
Yeah.
Listen, bro. Listen.
Okay.
That tough shit. This is what I was taught as I was growing up.
Okay.
You never imply that that's what you're gonna do and don't do it. You never imply that that's what you're gonna do and you don't do it.
When I pull, I always pop. That's why I'm living today.
I'm keeping it 100.
Yeah, no, that's 100.
You
But
don't ever try to insinuate that that's what you. Nigga, don't switch seats or like it, because.
no,
Go ahead.
No, you right, bro. I'm telling you the perception of it.
Go ahead, I'm with it.
It in that moment when I seen it, I say that's Corey trying to check Anton temperature. Because when you got up with him, hey, we can go outside. All right, let's keep the conversation. I ain't gonna win it this way. So let's take the violence off the table. You had to do that because a nigga like Corey from Chicago was gonna test you in that way, because that's not how you present online as tough. So when he said, okay, he do got some man about himself, now let's continue the conversation. This is normal in the wild. Anton, you just left the wild. I'm a hood nigga. I know what it is.
No. That's a perception. Wasn't shit wild in there. If y'all want to know the truth, wasn't shit wild in there. Wasn't nothing popping off. That's why I told the crowd. I said, "Nigga, look, I got security. You got security. Ain't shit happening."
That's a fact.
Now if we, and that's why I was talking about online. I said, now if you want to shoot a fair one, we can shoot a fair one.
Yeah.
We can go and shoot. Bro, I know people don't know this, but that's what I do. I don't talk about it online. I shoot fair ones all the time. Nigga, I got 3 brothers, nephews, friends. Nigga, if we have a problem, we shoot a fair one.
Yeah.
That is
Okay, now, again, this is not exactly the best of ways to solve issues right here. I think conflict resolution could work in certain issues unless things have gone way too far or there are issues way too big not to confront people on certain things because their behavior is considered abusive physically and mentally, to the point of there's no point of no return. It should be a last resort that you shoot a fair one, or you can become violent in any way, shape, or form. It should not be a part of your personality to shoot fair ones at any beck and call. You need to calm down the temperature at every I mean, I've done it before, but it's few and far between since I've been to my last one. So again, and I think for Anton to say that he shoots fair ones regularly, they're letting the people in on his person, even though he comes off as being very corporate, very conservative, very Republican in his outlook, and and can hold debates at will. Let's continue.
That's not me being tough. I'm not tough. I'm not none of that shit. If you insinuate that that's what you're gonna do, you gotta go. You gotta go all the way there. You cannot stop. You can't stop. But I seen the bitch in that nigga. I seen the bitch in that nigga, and that's why I'm like, oh, this nigga soft. Okay. All of that chair moving shit, that's performative. Because let me tell you what niggas do when they really doing some shit. They go. They don't say, hey, move out. That's like saying, hold me back. I'm keeping it 100, bro. I'm keeping it 100. Man, I knew that nigga wasn't gonna do nothing. That nigga was shaking like a stripper. He telling Darlene, hey, move over there. Let me get next to this nigga. Man, that's for the internet. That's straight up for the internet. I never moved. I sat right there, right next to that nigga, and I continued to cook that nigga the whole time. Yeah. The whole time from that point on, I cooked that nigga.
I think that was the plan of Anton, to be fair. I think he really wanted to make an example out of Corey Holcomb. Sorry that no debate could be had here, but again, he just got from the studio. He's adrenaline is pumping through his veins right now, and he's gonna talk his shit. So that's where we stand at the moment. But it's unfortunate we had to get to this point in time, but such a tremendous opportunity was wasted. Let's continue.
I told that nigga, you a hypocrite. I don't believe you. You keep niggas around you that continue to try to boost you up. That nigga was frustrated. He the weakest comedian because a nigga couldn't even control his temperature in his own. And I was in his backyard. I'm in LA right now in his spot with his people all around talking to that nigga. Let me tell you, he never coming back from this. That's why I'm telling y'all, whenever his show ends, you need to download that shit and never let him forget it, because I don't go based off. That's why I told Mika, right? Because I had Mika with me. And the reason why I brought Mika with me is because I wanted to promote her show and shit. Neither here nor there. I told Mika, I told my security, and I told somebody else. I said, I'm not doing nobody else's platform unless it's gonna be face to face. I told a Millionaire Morning Show that. Because everybody talk a good game until you right there in front of them. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else. That's not even a tall nigga like that. He not even big like that. Nigga fat as fuck. Like, he not fit. Like, I'm not the fittest, but I'm a regular person, right? I'm not overweight. I'm not crazy and none of that shit like that. Like, I'm a regular nigga. He not tall. He not fit. The nigga walked in wheezing. Man, bro, I was fully confident that nigga was going out. Fully confident. All of that tough shit. All of what having the camera pan up to you like this and shit to make you bigger than what you really are. I ain't impressed with that shit, bro.
The more that I listen to this, the more that I think that reconciliation will be impossible.
Reconciliation is indeed off the table here. It's off the table. There's no chance of reconciliation here. There has to be a mea culpa. These are two very strong-willed, very well, can I say alpha males? Yeah, they're two alpha males who really don't back down from nobody. There it is, and they will not take down the temperature. They tried. There's an attempt to do so, but again, Anton rose the temperature again, and I think it was for clickbait. I think it was for views. But again. Anton's like this in real life, as he says, and he shoots fair ones, as he said, all the time. So did he instigate this? To a certain extent, he did, I think. But again, I think he was set off by the fact that Corey said he kissed white ass, and he said it again. And he said, okay, if you're going to go there, we're going to go back there. We're going to go all the way there. And, No one wins with that. So again, Anton was really taking it up a few levels than it needed to be. Let's continue.
Nevertheless, let me address some of Anton's points right here. Listen, and I don't know Anton personally, so I don't know if he's shooting fair ones all of the time, like what he's saying. However, friends, family, shooting fair ones, which is something I've encountered. I don't do that all the time, but I got a couple of my best friends. Yeah, sometimes we get there. And it has turned into a brouhaha where we dap and we shake hands at the end of it, and then we move on to bigger and better things. But to Anton's credit, the idea of only doing right things on other people's platforms because they are live, I think is genius. I think it's a brilliant kind of boundary that you set for yourself because, you know, the internet conversation is one thing, the real life conversation is going to be a completely different thing. But doing so and going into a battleground is what this is. And by battleground, I mean their points and perspectives. Like they knew what they were going to talk about. They knew it was going to be a debate, and they know a little bit, at least enough about each other to know that it might get live. It might get spirited, okay? So you need to go into that situation, right? If you're smart about it, if you're strategic about it, with some sort of protection, right? Whether it be friends, family, or Anton apparently pays for a security guard. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for a name online and found way too much free. That's way more than enough time to make more money than the cost for me to fly out there. And I don't know if Corey paid for him to go out there or what have you, right? Or the cost of
Corey did pay for his own flight to get out there. He did.
Security guard versus the potential value that I can derive. And as Anton understands how the internet works, knows that the bag is going to be a lot more achieved if he can rage bait or get a reaction out of somebody. Did he intend for that to happen? I don't think so. I just think at the point of you kiss white man's ass, it went to a level where Anton said, I'm going to burn the whole place down. And it is what it is because I'm the leader of my ship. You're not going to disrespect me or the brand or the audience, because that's another thing is that you bring your whole brand with you to the debate. And it's not about finding a common ground. It's about taking your audience on your back and proving that you have the better points, the positions, you know, or whatever else that you were branded off of. So when Anton...
So yeah, indeed. Very well said there by Mediocre Tutorial Reviews. MTR's, you know, is... put it simple and plain, yeah, Anton was doing this for his brand. He really wanted to put his points across so that people he can get more followers to his edicts, his modus operandi, how he moves, his political leanings, his debate leanings, how he operates. And basically to build his brand. So again, I think he really wanted to confront Corey on his platform, and I think bring people across to his own. You know, when he said that, you know, he kisses white people ass, he said, yeah, you know, MTR is absolutely right. He wanted to burn. He said, okay, I'm gonna burn down this mofo. But again, there was a time in that debate where he said, I want to come back and debate on the issues. But I think, you know, Anton decided to himself that maybe it would be best if I just, you know, ended this with acrimony rather than ended this in friendship and in good fellowship, and move on to a second debate where they can debate real issues in real time. And I think that was a loss to which we will all feel its effects. Let's continue.
Gets threatened. If he gets little Boyd, he's thinking of the potential of the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that he might lose in future revenue. And shit, for respect and or for money, people have lost their lives. So I think that it's intelligent that he goes into these situations with security guards. But I do think that the comparison to fair ones with friends and family versus a battleground place of people that you do not know, there was way more risk. And the idea or the concept of a fair one goes completely out the window. Even if you say a fair one, y'all go outside, that still don't mean it's going to be a fair one.
Believe me, and he's absolutely right about that. That is MTR, because from all intents and purposes, it is alleged that somebody was waiting outside. Well, I wouldn't say outside at the time, but outside just after Anton Daniels had left, and let it be said that it wasn't going to be a fair one. It was not going to be a fair one. So again, I'll let you do your research on that. These are allegations that are out there. I'm not going to say it's true. I'm not going to say it's false, but yeah, it's good that indeed Anton brought proper security, and it's good that things ended in a non-violent way.
All right, because the survival of the fittest out here. The world owes you no favors, and someone, irrespective of the culture that y'all grew up in, the society, what you think that you've done to help people out or to be generous, in the heat of the moment, none of that matters. None of it. So Anton's confidence here, it's either a function or a subset of the protection that he had in the room, maybe a some type of internal or carnal knowledge that Corey would not take it to that level. But I do think Anton is a little bit short-sighted in that assessment. And maybe I don't have all the information. I mean, I wasn't in the room either to do like an assessment, but it's a risk within that short-sightedness, within a sense of that when someone gets that close to you, right, and they're up in your face within a threatening manner, okay, I know if it was me, I'm taking a defensive stance and I'm putting my arm out in order to give distance, because the distance buys me fractions of a second that allows me to get out of the way of a particular attack. Anton didn't do that. So that's what I mean when I refer to short-sightedness, or perhaps belief, or maybe his belief that Corey was not going to do, take it to that level at all, superseded formulating any type of defensive posture as Corey pressed him. It's a big risk at the end of the day. And within that, I guess you got to get ready to take the W's or the L's as they come. Let's go.
Let me tell you something. Every last one of these niggas.
Absolutely. MTR is right. It is a huge risk for you to go across the country in a place that you're not familiar with and try to confront someone on their turf. It is, it's good that you brought, you brought security with you, but yeah, so he knew that he was protected, but it could have ended up badly in many other ways, and it's good that that there was no violence between these two people. There was no fighting between these two individuals, and they people moved on. They moved on.
Every last one of these niggas, if they ever want to do something in person, I'm pulling up. I told that nigga on the phone before I even pulled up. I said, bro, I know you gonna come at me weird, but just know you're going to get the same energy. I told him straight up on the phone. So that's why I bullied that nigga on his own platform, a bitch-ass comedian. I bullied that nigga. Let me tell you something, bro. Okay. He said, who I coward? I said, nigga, Dave Chappelle, you scared of Dave, nigga. I told that nigga straight up to his face on his own platform. I said, you scared, nigga. You tiptoed around that nigga when you reviewed his platform.
All right, so Anton, what was...
So my point is this. Man, I'm not worried about it, nigga. The people I got around me is different, bro. Let me tell you, I know the same people that he know. Y'all be thinking that, man, listen, bro, listen. Ain't nobody tough. I'm not pretending to be tough. I'm not none of that. But the one thing that I know is, and maybe it's just because I'm still in Detroit, niggas don't act like they gonna do something. Either they do it or they stay chill. I'm not going for none of that move out the way, all of this stuff. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. You're not tough. And let me tell you the only reason why I got up. I was telling my security and I was telling Mika this and shit too, like while I left, is because I'm not going to ever act like I'm going to do something and don't do it. So it's either do something or leave, because what you do is now you putting the security in a situation. Now you getting Mika in a situation, right? Now you putting them in something and they got to respond because, it's going if it go there, it get fucked up. So it's
point raised there by Anton for him to get up and leave, knowing he had people with him, because it was going to end badly, and you don't want people that you were around who never were to be involved in such an altercation, to be around you. If you were doing it alone, that's fine, but you have people that you're responsible for in and around you. You have paid security that are there to quell things, so it is good that Anton eventually did leave and chose a more peaceful path, even though this debate had confrontation written all over it. Let's continue.
Either you go or you do something about it. I'm not a tough guy. So I left.
Can I ask you this?
Once it start going there, and you know what I'm saying, it's just like, this nigga, I've already done my due diligence. I've already kicked his ass on his own platform. It's time to go.
Yeah. So can I ask you, what was the overall goal of going on the platform? Like, was you hoping to get
you insinuating? He said you insinuating you was there without you. I'm not here with my nigga. I just talked to my chick on the phone. Literally, I literally just talked to her on the phone.
I have a question.
You see her at the top, nigga?
I have a question for you, Anton.
See Sharita right there?
I have a question for you, Mr. Daniels.
You're right. I got Mika here, and I'm here.
I have a question. I have a question for you. He tried to calm the temperature. Why didn't you let him?
What do you mean? Try to calm the temperature? When did he try to calm the temperature?
Well, he tried to okay, we're cool now. You was like, fuck this.
Yep, good question. He did try to calm the temperature. That is true. Anton has to deal with it. He did try to calm things down. It's good that someone in his platform actually called him out on this because, as I said before on Talk Live, thank you very much for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Corey tried to have a peaceful debate afterwards, but then up went the temperature, and it was Anton who did the deal. Now, let's hear why he actually did it.
Because I didn't believe that nigga now. Once you say you own that.
This was I called it. This was my point. Because he threatened him. Anton said, let's go outside. He didn't. Then respect is lost at a certain junction. That's exactly was my point that I was saying in my original video.
And you don't show it.
There it is. So he was ready to fight. Corey wasn't ready to fight because he was on his platform. He didn't want to disrespect his platform. So he decided to continue egging him on, and in order to get a rise at him and confront him at his own will, at his own at his own charge. And again, it is sort of sad that Anton, only saw fit to bring things to a different level here. That was totally unnecessary. I think a good debate could have been had here, but Anton wanted to win points among his colleagues and I wouldn't say his colleagues, but the point among his followers. So therefore, he wanted to, make it a confrontable moment. Because again, Corey was trying to calm things down, and Corey was trying to have a debate. But Anton, when he called him a hypocrite, you knew that it was gonna go bad. And I think it stemmed from the fact, as Anton said here, stemmed from the fact he never went outside with it, which is, for a guy who's so intellectual as Anton, that's street thuggery 101. And was it necessary at this time? Probably not.
I found your weakness. Once you say you own that and you don't show it, I found your weakness.
So at the point that respect is lost, then he's going to run amok on the platform, right? Because if you look back at the conversation after the initial infraction, dust up, if you will, Corey was trying his honest. He was honest to try to understand Anton, to try to break it down. He was saying things like, I believe you don't understand where I'm coming from, or like the things that I know, right? Like, so let me try to infuse you with some knowledge, right? Like, and at the same time that Corey is honestly trying, it seemed like Anton was planning his attack.
Yeah, it was.
And what's interesting is that within that dialogue, some things came out, such as the Dave Chappelle comment, which Corey, again, in the honor of trying to make everything whole again, wasn't in his ego and say, you got me, dog. Yeah, you right. You right as hell. I did tiptoe around that situation. But at that point, Anton had no want to form a reconciliation with Corey at that particular junction. And now we see why.
Okay. Why do you think it went left to begin with? Just
because he's used to niggas think because you're Republican and you conservative or whatever, that shit is just, I don't think he know, right? Because don't nobody know nobody until they actually in front of him, right? And he used to, and I told him that shit. I said, you used to being around people that don't say nothing to you when you say something to them because, it is what it is. And so, that was his weakness.
So he really trying to show dominance, show strength. in this instance in trying to raise the temperature and go at one Corey Holcomb. And Corey's trying to have a sensible debate here. And you know what? I don't think I think Anton saw weakness and went straight after it. But, it was unnecessarily so. I don't think Anton didn't have to do that. I think meaningful dialogue would have furthered this meeting between the two much further than this. But for you to, trying to win brownie points among your people for this, it's a bit of a shady move, to be fair. And Anton didn't need to go there. He really didn't. He didn't.
He's not. Listen. He's not intellectual enough to be able to talk. He can't hold. I realized that in the very beginning. Is that like on some debate or conversation type shit?
He's a
yeah. Like he's not intellectual enough on that tip.
But you went against that by trying to confront him and take him outside. And then he didn't want to go outside and he wanted to have a meaningful debate. You still wanted confrontation. I mean, how are you going to accuse him of being non-intellectual when he's trying to have an intellectual conversation with you? It's a bit ironic. It is a bit ironic that you call him non-intellectual when he's trying to have an intellectual conversation. Bit of a bad take on Anton Daniels' part.
I actually disagree with this. I think that he is intellectual enough to have. I think he's smart as all hell.
Yeah.
I think that part of the issue is that it's difficult when you have culturally conservative beliefs, right? Like both of them are going back and forth in terms of, their thoughts in regards to like homosexuality, right? Even Corey demonstrating how important it is to him for Anton not to use words towards him that are sexually alleging things in nature, right? Like this is something that's very important. They can agree on things like that. And then, there are two men that grew up within the black community, one from Chicago, one from Detroit. Black people in general, right? American black people are conservative thinkers in general, except for politically. So
very good point raised there by MCR is that yes, indeed, they are conservative in their lifestyle, but they are liberal, aka progressive, in their political outlook. It's absolutely true. This is very, very much true. But just getting back to it, Anton wanted to show that I think at the end of the day that conservatives were no punks. That's the reason why he went after Anton the way he did. Did he need to? No. But he wanted to show conservatives were no punks. He wanted to make an example out of Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb, a typical FBA, progressive, sort of, conservative slash Democratic voter, Democrat Party, and progressive. He wanted to show that individual that is Corey Holcomb that conservatives were no punks. That's the reason why he started the lit fires. That's the reason why he went after Anton. That's why he wanted to threaten him by going him outside. He just wanted to show that conservatives can be tough and have a tougher stance, sort of like sort of a Trump-like stance, if you know what I mean. Let's continue.
If Corey is having a debate, a political debate about all of these topics, and it's more liberal ideology, and a lot of that ideology speaks ill of a black man that has conservative ideology, it's going to clash, especially when it's difficult to sync up the cultural conservatism versus the political conservatism, because there is some logically incomplete closes to those sentences. But I do think that if Corey, for lack of a better term, had the capacity to look at more content online, because he ain't got time for that shit. He's a busy, very successful man. Then he would start to make some of those ties make sense. But just like I said in the first video, the clip culture in conjunction with the algorithm, it's very easy to have disproportionately negative views about anybody on the internet, depending upon your pre-biases served up by your algorithm that you voted, right? Like your algorithm is you voting what you like to watch. It happens to every content creator in every niche. It's not just politics. It could be in the bodybuilding niche. It's definitely in the relationship niche. Shit, you got a whole army of people that hate a Kevin Samuels just off of the clips. He's been dead for 3 years and they still celebrate his death on the day, which is absolutely insane to me how much people can draw a conclusion to you, not looking at the full context of your thoughts, but of the snippets. Let's go.
So again, R.I.P. Godfather, to be fair. 3 years afterwards, for people to still try to dance on his grave is absolutely ridiculous, even though it's been proven right every single day of the week. But especially to some of these 304s that have gone into their 50s, still single. Anyways, we're going to be featuring them here on Talk Live nonetheless. But again, I think Anton was serving the algorithm. He really was serving the algorithm. He really wanted confrontation. He wanted to, aggrandize his name, get people talking about the debate, because nothing was going to come of a simple debate that he wanted with Corey Holcomb. Corey tried to have it, he tried to calm down the temperature and really have a serious debate, but Anton only saw dollar signs. Anton only saw the algorithm and really wanted to confront Corey on his show and show that he was the bigger, tougher man, which, goes against his intellectual sensibilities. Let's continue.
So when you start to lose that part of the conversation, and another reason why I like doing it in person is because you can't mute me.
Mm-hmm. You would let that nigga talk. I was like, God damn, that's
you can't mute me, and we gotta look in each other's eyes, and we gotta see each other, right?
Yeah, that's the key.
Now you
right
can't
there.
mute me. You can't control the narrative. You can't control the platform. We right there.
Yeah.
See, he wanted confrontation. That's exactly what Anton was there for. He was there for confrontation. He was there to move the algorithm to his favor, and he was there to not necessarily debate Corey Holcomb, but to, make it a more, I wouldn't say violent affair, but a little more of a confrontational one.
So that's why I only want to do it in person.
I just want to say no one on this platform to say anything, because if that was me and Slimmy, y'all would have called it sassy and emotional. When niggas fight, that's what y'all say. But no, that was no.
Too soon.
I'm just saying. They would have called us sassy, Slimmy.
Well, this is what I'll say.
I don't think it was.
Well, we're going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. We've gone about 2 hours and 30 minutes on this debate. But again, you see the reason why Anton went on the show, and I think that is that's fair enough, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get back to the big screen. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live. And it seems who are the winners and the losers here. Let me see here. Bang. Here we go. There we are. Who are the winners and the losers here? I think, quite simply, it depends on who you side with at the end of the day. You would have thought that Anton Daniels was there. And this is where it's a completely ironic confrontation between these two individuals. An ironic debate in the sense that the conservative, the intellectual, who you would have thought wanted dialogue, debate, chat, he went there to confront Anton on his channel and try to try to bully him on his own platform. When Corey, yes, he did try to get into Anton's face, but at the end of the day, Corey tried to have a debate with him. Corey wanted to debate the views here. Yes, indeed, Corey was a bit confrontational in first meeting up with Anton, but also he tried to bring things down. He tried to have a conversation with Anton, but Anton wasn't having it. Anton wanted to scorch the earth. Anton wanted to show that he was the bigger and stronger man at the end of the day, and was willing to go outside twice in order to do it. But he did have his bodyguard, so he knew that it wasn't going to be done, but he wanted to show to his audience that he was the bigger, stronger man on somebody else's platform. So, again, so people are taking sides right now. Some are taking Corey's side, some are taking Anton's side, and I say this. It was meant to move the algorithm to I think both platforms, but really in Anton's idea, it was to move the platform to his. So that's the reason why he confronted him like he did. That's the reason why he had the D-sucking thing about him. That's why he called him a hypocrite. That's the reason why he really fostered confrontation, because he wanted to move things to himself. And it's a shame that it had to go that way, because I believe that Anton's a very intellectual individual, and he's a man of words, and he's a great orator and thinker of our time, and I still will enjoy his content, but I think this is a low light for him. I think this is a time where he could have been the better man and really sought dialogue here, but he sought to move the algorithm to himself and aggrandize his platform and make money at the same time. So it's a shame that's the case, but Corey Holcomb, I know his platform is still strong, and he has a very strong following, especially in the black community, especially in the progressive black community, the FBA black community, and I think he'll move on to bigger and better things. But it's best left said that these two separate themselves for now, because when they do get together for the good, it's all bad. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live on this debate between these two titans of Black YouTube, that is Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb. It is hoped that these two can seek a resolution in time, but I really don't think so, because, again, as you clearly saw, Anton wants no part of this man, and neither does Corey. If you had a look at the end of the 5150 show this Tuesday, it was, you can see they're at equidistant points at this point in time. One's back in Detroit, the other is staying in LA, and I think it's best that it be left that way. And thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Enjoy your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to enjoy mine as we round up to midnight, and look forward to seeing you on next week. Yes, we will get into the Scots. The Scots will be debated next week. That'll be our next show, and we have a few more things in the pipe, a few more shows in the pipeline. So it's going to be a busy week on Talk Live, and as we move forward. So thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live, and we'll be back next week with the Scots and the divorce that is shaking up Black social media. And I thank you very much. And go Bills, go Arsenal, and no, right there. There it is. There it is. And we'll see you next week. And good night from Toronto on IG. And good night from Toronto. There we go. Good night from Toronto on IG. And good night from Toronto.